Joining us here from the Democratic Alliance in that council in the municipality, Diphapang Mofokeng joins us now for more on that. Diphapang, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time and coming through this evening. Just for clarity, let's firstly begin, as you're talking to us now, has there been any correspondence from your party, from your councillors, to either council or to the mayor's office objecting to this particular matter?
Good evening, Tabo. Firstly, when reports or rumors reached us of the accident of the mayor, we requested in council that a full report be tabled surrounding circumstances around the accident and all of that. So when that was requested in council, the mayor, in her presence, promised that the report will serve in the next meeting. We also requested logbooks and all information regarding the car, who was driving it, and all of that information. All that information was requested repeatedly in council, in the presence of the mayor. Now, I hear Mr. Mokoena is talking about us having to write to him. Look, information that we require in council sitting, we don't have to write to Mr. Mokoena. If the accounting officer is there and the mayor is there, that information should be availed to council in the next sitting. So it's not true that we have never requested that information. We have been requesting it a couple of times. It hasn't served until today.
What information do you have at your disposal currently around the rented vehicle that the mayor has been using?
Well, the mayor has costed this municipality quite a lot of money. Firstly, Mr. Mokoena yesterday lied to the public that we don't pay more than even 30,000 a month on that vehicle. Now, we've got an invoice that shows a payment of 64,000 just on rental for the 18th of May until the 17th of June. We also have a verified audit trail proof of payment of APSA, which was made on the 16th of April, 2024, for an amount of 79,038 just for rental. Now, I'm not including the fuel spent on this vehicle because it ranges around 35,000 a month, like we have indicated in the media statements that we have issued. So it's not true. Mr. Mokoena was disingenuous about that. We actually pay quite a lot of money monthly on the rental of that car, way above 30,000 that he alleges we don't spend.
So, according to you, it's not only in May. From what you're saying, this verified audit payment also happened in April. So it's been a couple of months that this amount has been paid for this vehicle.
Yes, I mean, there's also been a payment around 16th of May of 43,900, way above 30,000 that Mr. Mokoena is talking about. There's a payment, like I indicated, in April of 79,000. There's a payment of 50,258. All these payments, there's proof of payment to that effect, and there's invoices to that effect. So it's not thumbs-up or information that we think is there. It's information that has been given, credible information from the municipality, and it is there in the books of the municipality.
Yeah. As far as the logbook is concerned, I mean, is it the odometer displaying that these kilometers would have been covered by this vehicle?
Well, let me say this from the information that we got. Let's make an example of the dates that we provided yesterday. From the 18th of May to the 18th of June, the odometer readings on the car, in other words, the distance traveled from May to June 18, is actually 474 kilometers, actual kilometers that were traveled. And if you look at the money that was spent on fuel just for the 474 kilometers is 35,263. Now, there are two possibilities to this. One is that they've been filling more than just one car with the fuel card of the municipality. The second possibility, of course, is that they may have been filling the mayoral car and later draining the petrol out of the car and going back to refill it again. For what purpose, we do not know. So I assume the article was based on the calculation they did on the fuel spend, estimating it with how much a diesel car for that amount of money would have had to travel. So based on the readings of the actual car of the mayor, it actually traveled 474 kilometers from the 18th of May to the 18th of June. And they have spent 35,263 just for fuel for only those 470 kilometers.
Yeah. Would that be consistent with the distances that Mokoena says the mayor would need to travel at least 3 times to go to meetings and to where she needs to go to? Plus, he said to us, look, the mayor is also allowed to make other travels that are outside of normal business for personal reasons. If the mayor needs to go to the doctor, needs to go to the chemist to pick up something, she can either drive, allow a member of the family to drive, and so on and so forth.
About the 474 kilometers is not even a return trip from Rates to Bloemfontein. It's not even one trip. So it comes to the point that I made that this petrol card of the municipality has been abused to fill petrol on other vehicles other than this car. So the 400 is not consistent with that amount. Coming to the issue around the use of the car for private purposes. Now, Mr. Mokoena based his argument on the SALGA guideline. They call it SALGA Mayoral Handbook. It's a 2010 document. It's not signed. It's not law. Now, we base our argument on the municipal cost containment regulations of 2019. And these regulations were signed by the Minister of Finance in concurrence with the Minister of Proctor. And it appears on the Treasury Notice 317 of 2019. Now, these regulations say that before a decision is made on the replacement or the buying of the municipal vehicle for the mayor, that item must come to council, and it must be council that decides or determines the need, and having taken into consideration what clause 6, sub-clause 3 of that regulation says. Now, clause 6, sub-regulation 7 makes it very clear that the accounting officer or a delegated official of the municipality must bring to council a policy that regulates the vehicle used for political office bearers for official purposes. So the regulations don't make provisions for personal travel at the expense of the taxpayer. So the reliance on the regulation, on the guidelines of SALGA of 2010 by Mr. Mokoena is not entirely appropriate, because what must happen is reliance must be placed on the regulations, because national regulations take precedence over any guideline that any entity can come up with. And I must indicate, Thabo, that these guidelines that the spokesperson of the mayor or whatever his title is, these guidelines, the municipalities can opt in if they so wish. It's not a regulation, it's not an act,
yeah.
It's not something that binds the municipality.
Yeah.
We can opt in if you so wish and opt out if you don't want to. But what binds the mayor is the municipal cost containment regulation of 2019. That's what our argument is based on. And it is very clear from the reading of those regulations
Yes.
that it can only be for official purposes.
Be that as it may, there are a number of inconsistencies here in terms of what you're telling us and what the manager in the office of the mayor was telling us. Either way, I mean, are you satisfied that the documentation that you have at your disposal, in the words of Mr. Mokoena, is authentic? Because he says you've got unauthentic information that could certainly be telling us there's an invoice of 64,000 that would have been paid between the 18th of May and the 17th of June, or as you're saying, there is a 79,000 that would have been paid, and this is you're saying a verified payment, audited for that matter. Saying no, these are all inauthentic documents.
Yes, I can confirm that the official who was speaking yesterday was not. He was disingenuous, he was economical with the truth. The fact of the matter is, I've even shared the invoices with your team as we were communicating before this interview. The Avis invoice of 64,000, the proof of payment, the audited, they call it audited trail documentation, the proof of payment of ABSA, which shows exactly how much was paid and when. And it's not just 79,000. I've made a list of 43,000, 50,000, and so on and so forth. This documentation is, we have already provided it to your team, and the DA will be, in due course, writing to the municipal manager to institute investigations and disciplinary action against the official who was speaking yesterday, because he lied to the public, knowing very true that the information he was telling the public is not true. That, in our view, is a serious misconduct and must be dealt with very harshly.
Now, what is going to happen with this matter? I mean, is this matter sitting before council? Yeah, I believe we are now going to go to the municipal manager about the official that we spoke to yesterday. But what is going to happen about this abuse of the petrol card that you are pointing out here?
Well, Thabo, our team at the provincial legislature, in due course, will be writing to the MEC of COPTA to request a full-blown investigation, which possibly might lead into a criminal investigation. That means we'd have to go back to those filling stations to identify which car was filling petrol at that time, get a video footage, and all of that information will reveal who did what. But from where we are sitting, the MEC of COPTA, we are putting it into his hands before we approach the police and we explore other avenues, because clearly at the level of council we have failed, because all this information that we requested, it's not forthcoming. Mr. Mokoena is not honest about it. So I understand that there is an advert that is in place for the new car and all of that. That decision, in our view, if it is made, whatever amount is spent will constitute unauthorized and irregular expenditure, because according to the regulations, it is council. It is the prerogative of council to pronounce and decide on that matter.
What do you know, while we're on that matter, before you go past, what do you know about the insurance payout? Because Mr. Mokoena said to us there's a portion of the insurance that has now paid out, which, of course, they're saying now is going to then kick-start this process of the mayor getting a replacement vehicle. Might not be a new vehicle, might be stock that is available at a municipality that is now going to be given to the mayor, or whatever form it's going to take. But saying that there is an insurance payout that would have now happened with regards to that vehicle.
Well, Thabo, I can't confirm nor deny that a payment has been made. If it has been made, we'll have to follow up. But that does not take away the fact that a report must be brought to council, which, among others, states the current status of the vehicle. Obviously, it was involved in an accident. It must also give a status of the insured, the hired car, affordability options. The council must exercise its prerogative to determine if we can afford to buy a new car. So that decision of placing adverts and all of that is premature, because it has not come for council for a determination. So
in your view, if we were to sum this up, you are saying, yes, there was an authentic accident that would have happened, but the occasion of the accident, it seems, could have been used here for unauthorized or even irregular expenditure.
No, Thabo, I cannot authenticate that the accident did happen because that report hasn't come to council. Like I indicated, we hear that there was an accident, but we are saying if there was an accident, yes, you hired a car, you want to buy a new car, but all that information and all those reports that we requested haven't come to council. For council to satisfy itself that one, yes, there was an accident. Two, determine the extent of the accident, make a decision as to whether that warrants council to get the mayor to get a new car.
Yeah. And the view that this is all public information, that if you want, you can just write to the mayor's office, request that information, it can be readily available for you. You are not willing to accept that.
No, I'm not disputing that. And any party outside council can write to the municipal manager, can write to the office of the mayor for any information that they want.
Yeah.
But because we are in council, nothing stops us from requesting the information on record in council. So I'm not disputing that anybody can write to the municipal manager.
But you're saying as council, you've requested that information. It has not officially been brought to council. Several times, you say?
Several times.
All right. Diphapang, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on and for that clarity. The DA councillor in the Nketoana Municipality, Diphapang Mofokeng.